best way to develop commercial awareness is by, going out, getting some work experience, getting even a part-time job or some volunteering experience. And then, maybe thinking about, the company or the organization you're working at and the sort of ways in which their business is affected. So, then I'm thinking about maybe like their competitors, or, how politics and the economy might affect their business, things like that. And then drawing on that experience in an interview is probably one of the best ways.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Georgie. One thing I know I found really helpful when I was applying for training contracts was just trying to focus on a particular sector or a particular practice area that you're interested in, and really sort of trying to do it sort of a deep dive into that sector rather than trying to have broad understanding and broad expertise across a whole range of topics. I think it comes across far better in an application if you can show that you're really up to date, really knowledgeable on a single topic or sector or practice area.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And as well, if you can, it's a good idea to try and practice talking about those topics that you've been researching with friends and family, so that as well as kind of knowing a good amount about the topic, you kind of get used to the process of discussing as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And kind of building on that, I would recommend maybe trying to keep a log of what you've researched, what you've read, seen, listened to as you go, and maybe even splitting it up by sector or by practice area, so it's not just one continuous list, because then when it's time to look back and maybe write up your application or talk about it, you'll have it all split up there for you and you can go back to link at any time. So that might be a helpful thing to do.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, Amanda. It actually sort of brings up the point that I was going to make, which is that if you open up the business pages for the first time and you don't understand, that's fine. Commercial awareness is an ongoing process. It's something that even when you're a trainee, you keep going with. So if you don't understand, don't be disheartened. Just keep at it, and you'll get it there eventually.
Yeah, and I think to finish off, a point that we haven't touched on this call and potentially gets forgotten about is there's this kind of second half to commercial awareness, which is actually the commercial pressures and drivers for law firms themselves. So as part of that research that you're doing about particular stories, sectors, practice areas, I would encourage people to always look at where the law firm, how the law firm would be involved in that story, which kind of practice areas would be involved, and what kind of work would they need to do to support whoever the client would be in that story in what they're trying to achieve.